Never have we dropped this many bases in one video. You asked for more free Town Hall 17 bases, so you shall receive. And that's why in this video I'll give you 9 different Town Hall 17 bases to set both you as well as your clanmates up for success. With that, hello and welcome to yet another video. My name is Gum, and this time I'm not going to go into those bases too deeply because we just have so many bases. If I were to talk on every base for like 3 to 4 minutes, this video gets way too long. So I'll just quickly show you every single base, and of course all those base links are in the description if you want to copy them. For basically all bases we are going to use to recommend clan castle, well, the current best clan castle in general, of 2 ice golem, 1 furnace, and the rest is archers. This is the clan castle you can use in clan war leagues. You can use it in normal clan wars as well as in Legends League. It is just currently the best clan castle there is on Town Hall 17. It is just such a great all-rounder clan castle. But let's of course dive into the first base, which you're already seeing on your screen right now. And that is this box base from Daniel RJ. It is a great all-rounder base. You can basically use it for clan wars, you can use it in Legends League, and it will have a lot of success. You do have to note all of these bases are basically built for hard mode matches, so they're built for tournaments. It's a combination of bases from both the Chinese qualifier as well as from the golden ticket qualifier from July. But of course, even though they're built for hard mode matches, that doesn't mean they're not going to work for normal clan wars as well as Legends League. They are still incredibly solid bases. However, sometimes you do have to move a few traps because they're all also built against specific teams as well as specific players. But these players are of course also mostly going in with the attack strategies you're going to see in normal clan wars as well, which are of course root biters and dragons in combination with the Royal Champion Walk. And Royal Champion Walks are what these bases are specifically designed to defend. So that's why, as well as in this base, you see so many defenses around the base just trying to make it hard to get to, for example, the Town Hall, as well as to the scatter shots, as well as of course to the multi-inferno tower in the core, as well as the monolith of course. And if you have that monolith left standing or just any of those key defenses, it is incredibly hard to get to it with your dragons, with your root warriors or whatsoever, and they can really do a lot of work in defense. So mostly what you're going to see on this base is, for example, a Royal Champion Walk at 12 o'clock, and then someone will just try to send some root warriors into the Town Hall. But the root warriors will just path around the Town Hall and will have a real hard time getting towards the Town Hall. So it is able to do a lot of work. That's with that space. Let's move on to the next one. Next up is yet another box base from the one and only Daniel RJ. This time with both the multi-gear tower as well as the monolith in the core of the base, as well as once again an isolated Town Hall that is incredibly hard to reach. Just like on the other base, as well as on all the bases that are upcoming, you are going to use a 2 ice golem, 1 furnace, rest archers you see. Just remember that C, and you can basically use it on every single base. Sometimes of course there's also the clan castle, so you can use it for like 3 rocket loons or 2 rocket loons in combination with 2 ice golems. Also a really strong clan castle. But I just think the 1 furnace, 2 ice golems is just in general the best clan castle there is currently. So that's what we're going to use for this basic as well. If you find this one incredibly annoying at first glance, the base link is of course in the description for you to copy it. Next up we have the first diamond base, once again from Daniel RJ, and this time with the incredibly ugly setup at 9 o'clock. If you don't know how to deal with this setup at 9 o'clock, it is going to destroy so many attacks, no matter if you're doing root fighters, no matter if you're going to send in some super yetis in there, or no matter if you're using dragons. The damage you have at 9 o'clock is just so incredibly much, and some attackers, or well, most attackers are really going to underestimate that, and it is going to do a lot of work for you, hopefully in defense. Also note the isolated cube launcher in the middle of the base. This one can also be switched to a hook tower if you like that more, because it's just going to pull everything in the middle of the base. However, you do have to note, if there are any traps close to that hook tower, you do have to move them away because else was the hooked in troops are just going to trigger some traps, and you absolutely do not want that. Next up is another box base from Daniel RJ. And this time with the incredibly ugly setup with those both scattered shots as well as the multi-gear tower, and it's just so incredibly hard to reach it. You can basically not take it out with a world champion walk. So it's always left standing whenever you're sending in your root fighters or your dragons, and it is going to cause so many splits with, and that's exactly what makes this base so incredibly strong. Also, the town hall is so far away from all of these defenses. It is so incredibly isolated. In combination with both those sweepers, it is really hard to reach it for dragons to reach it. So this base also should be able to do a lot of work for you as well as your clanmates if you were to copy it. Next up is another diamond base, once again from Daniel RJ. Who would have guessed? And this base should also be an incredibly good all-rounder base if you were to use it in Legends League, because the biggest vulnerability for this base is, I would say, the fireball in the middle of the base. If you were to land a fireball in the middle of the base, then it is basically GG. You have no chance to defend it whatsoever. However, of course, if you're not able to plan it out and bring the amount of invisibility spells as well as earthquake spells which you would need for the fireball, which of course is the case in Legends League, then it can get really ugly. Because with root fighters as well as dragons, it is incredibly tough to deal with that core, especially with both those fire spitters and that poison tower that is just going to slow everything down. So even though it's a base that was originally built for the Chinese qualifier, it should still be able to do a lot of good work in Legends League. But of course, also don't leave out the normal clan wars. If you know the enemies are not going to go in with a fireball, this base should still be incredibly strong. And also, maybe it's even good if they go in with a fireball, because of course the fireball has to go in quite far into the base, which is of course a great case of making some mistakes. And if the fireball doesn't land in the middle of the base but somewhere completely on the outskirts, you will have a defense for sure. Next up, we have the first base, not from Daniel RJ, but this time from Vibes. And you can already see in the middle of the base, we have the monolith that is basically impossible to reach. If you want to take it out with a world champion walk, good luck, you're not going to. Or you will have to maybe like use 3 to 4 funnel invis, which you of course can't spend. So that monolith is always going to stand when you're going in with the main part, and the monolith of course still won't be reached too quickly. All of those defenses are placed perfectly around that monolith. That monolith has a real nice dead zone around there. So both the monolith as well as the cube launcher can do a lot of work onto that main push, and they are going to hurt those troops. Especially if the CC comes out with great timing. You have that ice golems coming out, and they are just going to keep those troops in one place for both the monolith as well as the cube launcher to just do so much work. And those troops will be decimated in no time, even though it's just 2 defenses raining down on them. Next up is another base from Vibes, and you can already directly see what's going to be baited on this base, and that is the World Champion Walk from 3 o'clock as well as from 9 o'clock with the backup from the dragons directly into the town hall, and it's just completely packed with traps. No matter if you go in from the left side with your World Champion Walk, your default, the Spirit Fox will be down no matter what. And from the right side, also your World Champion is going to struggle a lot with all of those Teslas as well as with the NATO. And if you were to send in your dragons from the bottom side, they are going to lure all of those Seeking Air Mines, because the coconut loons are not going to reach it. You have the air defenses that are going to snipe some down. You have the multi-archer tower that's going to snipe down some loons, as well as the town hall that's going to snipe down some loons. So all of those dragons are just going straight through those Seeking Air Mines, eating them up. And after the town hall, we also have all of those red air bombs, which are not only going to do work against dragons, but also if you were going to send in root fighters into the town hall, you're also going to eat that up with your healers, as well as of course first those Seeking Air Mines So no matter what you're going to send to the town hall, it is going to get decimated. Next up is the first anti-2-star base, once again from the one and only Vibes. And if you like anti-2-star bases, this base is for sure something you can copy and I can recommend copying. Monolith is quite far on the outside, but it's still going to be very well defended with all of those giant bombs, as well as those Tesla, as well as of course those skeleton traps. And that town hall in combination with both of those multi-inferno towers, and not to note those 5 builder huts. Don't underestimate those builder huts. For Vibes, these builder huts have done so much work on defense and have cost multiple 1-stars, because if you're going to send in a Yeti blimp for the town hall, sometimes those builder huts will just do so much work that the town hall is actually going to left standing. And also if you're going in with like a log launcher, the town hall is taking 0 damage because those builders are just constantly healing it up. So really don't underestimate those builder huts and don't underestimate this base, because it has defended multiple 1-stars already for Vibes, and it can defend multiple 1-stars for you in Clan Wars as well. And here we have yet another diamond base, this time from Ask. And it is probably the base type I dislike the most, or well, dislike the most when it comes to attacking it, because it is a symmetrical base, but it is not 100% symmetrical. So for the base builder, it is incredibly easy to still bait the attacks. On normal symmetrical bases, you of course only have you have 2 entries you can use, so you have to bait 2 entries. But due to the slight inconsistencies when it comes to the symmetry, you of course can predict those entries way better. And this core with the multi-inferno tower, as well as the combination with the monolith, just looks so incredibly annoying. However, you do have to watch out for the attack strategy, which I shared last week, with the giant arrow as well as the zap spells that can easily take care of the core. In this case, you can just send a giant arrow straight through there and use a few zap spells to take out the monolith as well as the multi-inferno tower for relatively cheap value, and then you just have great pathing around the base. But of course, not everyone has watched this video. But if one of you hasn't watched it yet, I can only recommend you to do so, because it is an incredibly fun and also incredibly strong attack strategy, which you can really use to show off for your clanmates how incredibly good you are at the game. These were all the bases for this time. I hope they're going to do a lot of work for you. I would really appreciate a like on this video just for the sheer amount of bases which we shared with you today. And also subscribing to our channel helps us out a ton. And maybe one day we will be able to actually reach the 20k subscribers. That would just be a dream come true. With that, I would say see you guys soon with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.